Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power and welcome to the Strike Fleet missions. Today doing mission 1. This is going to be Atlantic Cork. Welcome to World War III. Bottle up the Soviet fleet in the Norwegian Sea before they escape through the GI-UK gap. You'll meet your objective if you sink enough of their ships and subs to seriously cripple their forces. Okay, so we're looking for both surface and subsurface threats. 2 Orion search planes operating out of Iceland and 1 from Scotland are available for sub-hunting. Our satellites have spotted a large surface fleet just northeast of your position. I hope that they're out of missile range. And the SOSUS line here is approximately a dozen various Soviet nuclear attack subs racing at high speeds for the gap between Greenland and Iceland. Split your forces as you see fit, but stop those ships and subs. Our satellites also show pictures of backfire bombers loading up at their home bases. Watch out for those long-range kitchen missiles. Oof. It's going to be a big one. Sat recon suggests at least 5 submarines could be detected in the area. A strong surface force is also racing towards your fleet and the backfire bombers are there. We are fire at will. Let's get a look at our own forces. What do we have available? Good lord. We have many units. Okay, so we got a P3C. We have a second P3C. We have the Fletcher over there, which is not a Fletcher class. The Fletcher is in fact a Spruance class, and as this mod requires NTU, it is a 1989 VLS mod. So capable of launching quite a lot of land attack harpoons, tomahawks, which unfortunately I don't think we'll be using. She also has access to the harpoons. We have 24 anti-ship tomahawks. Those are definitely going to come in useful. We have access to a helicopter in the form of a Sea Sprite. Let's launch that one as well. We get access to Sea Sparrows. I don't particularly find the Sea Sparrows great, because they tend to be launched from this launcher here in the back, and it takes 30 minutes to reload, so that leaves the ship vulnerable for, as far as I'm concerned, entirely too much time. She also comes with offensive ECM, that's going to be handy. What else do we have? We got the second P3C, which is already doing loops there. Submarines detected by satellite. We have the cruiser group here. The cruiser group is the Bunker Hill, the Antietam, and the Daniels. Daniels is a Belknap from 1989. She's capable of throwing out 54 RIM 67 Standard Missile 2 Block 3s. So we got a 190-mile range against anything that flies. Of course, if you can detect it. That is going to be kind of the problem. Harpoons. This is definitely an anti-air cruiser, including offensive ECM. Bunker Hill, 90 missiles, standard missile medium range. Very capable platform. 20 tomahawks, 8 harpoons. We have access to a helicopter, and unfortunately, I don't think we'll have much use for that helo, because I think that the other area here is going to get covered by the hill and the P3C there. So I cannot really use it for ASW, but I suppose I can use it in the fictional anti-ship loadout. I like that. To make sure that I at least get some early eyes in the sky. Antietam is another unit such as the Bunker Hill. They're both commanded by Daniels. Over to the east. The Hill. This is definitely going to start launching a helicopter in the ASW configuration. And it seems to be a slightly older version of the Belknap. Oh, sorry, it's a Spruance. Oh, damn it. I thought I got it. Let's make sure that we have the towed array deployed and below the layer. Yes, we're going to have the towed decoy out. The Hill is doing 13 knots. I am not interested in having her get risked inside that submarine detection area. I want the Fletcher to do something similar. I had 1/3. Towed decoy deployed. Towed sonar already deployed. How big is this circle? Okay. That's a pretty sizable grid that I need to lay down. Well, let's get to work on that. I'm going to say an intermittent layer. Control Shift. No, it's too small. Control Alt. We will need a lot of sonobuoys to clear that out. And unfortunately, there is no airfield from which to resupply. So if these P3s are out, it's going to be down to the Fletcher and her helicopters to make something happen here. Okay, how am I going to divvy up this area then? Because I need to get eyes, well, ears on those subs. Let's start laying a fairly wide spread. And let's see if we can accidentally detect something. What's the distance between these? 30 miles, never mind. It's a massive, massive, massive area. Okay, let me just draw up a couple of lines. Let's say about 10-mile range, which is kind of hoping that you detect something. But at least it's going to give me something to work with. The problem is I'd have to be flying back and forth in order to get detections, because otherwise I might run out of range. Okay, dude, let's start dropping buoys. More or less on those markers. I'm going to do a zigzag pattern, so I'll kind of reconnect with the buoy over there on my way out. I'm just going to sort of keep going like that. That's 16 buoys. That's 20 buoys. And let's see what we pick up. The other one is going to do something fairly similar. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. So we're going to have the next spread here, 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 here. And ideally, I would very quickly detect units and be able to call off the search. But for thoroughness, I would much rather just scout out the whole area. Then, you. I suspect this is another 50-mile circle. Holy, it's even bigger? Jesus. Alright, we will be here a while. Intermittent drop. Yeah, I don't know. Get to it. Because we will need lots and lots of buoys to clear out this grid. The good news is, the briefing said they were racing. If they're indeed racing, maybe I can get some decent detection on them because they'll be loud. Let's hope so. Relocate some of these buoys. Get the grid slightly smaller. Yeah, I do need another buoy there. There. No, not there. Here. Alright, you got your orders. Execute. We are going to... Oh. We already got an aircraft. We're weapons free. This thing is doing 30,000 feet. Speed 420. Could be hostile. Range 245. That means it is outside of our very nice long-range missiles. If that is carrying a kitchen, it could be a problem. Could be a bit of a problem. Alright, I think there's going to be quite some time compression going on in this mission. Otherwise, we will be here sometime early next week before this mission completes. So there's going to be some cuts in this video. That didn't take long. New submerged submarine detected. The second buoy got a hit, and this thing is 10 miles out. Detected because it's running at 20 knots, doing almost due south. So, yeah, that's the racing part. If you're doing a racing part, you will find yourself at the mercy of my Mark 46s fairly swiftly, if that is what you desire. I'm going to throw an active sonar buoy right on top of it, and then we're going to engage it with a couple of Mark 46s. I really didn't expect to get him this fast. The mission is 7 minutes old, and I just started dropping to the southern grid, waiting for the P3 to come up to the northern grid, but here we are. Alright then. Russians, if you want to get through the gap, maybe do it quietly. As for the cruiser group, we have detected an aircraft. That's a Tu-95, unfortunately out of range. I cannot reach out and touch this guy just yet. What I can do is send my helicopter out to sort of counter-scout, and that's why it's doing 10,000 feet. Yep, there you are. What we have him. Do I still really need the buoy? I think the buoy is the safer option to go with. The active sonar buoy is going to give me an exact reading on its location. So that's why I'm dropping an active at a depth of 510 feet, so below the layer. Anything on the southeastern edge? No, we've dropped exactly one sonar buoy. That would be exceptionally lucky. I didn't really start for any particular reason here. I just thought that's where the aircraft is. And while these things have some longevity, I just don't really feel like burning a lot of fuel in order to get towards, for example, the top quarter of the pie, if you will. Okay. Buoy away. Buoy dropping. You deployed above the layer. Okay, that is less than ideal. I'm not sure if the P3 can make this turn in time. Probably not. Alright, come around.
Turn 037.
Do we know what it is? It's an Echo 2 or a November.
Roger,
Very good.
turn, Roger, turn
November has a hull-mounted sonar, no towed array. Echo 2, no towed array. Okay, approach from behind. Don't give him any indication that he's under threat. I want you to drop one salvo of 2 torpedoes at him. Oh, we are too close to the target. Alright, fine. Come around. Come round. These are relatively older submarines, I believe. I mean, an Echo is still dangerous with the SSN-3s. That can probably make a very hefty dent in my cruisers. But they have to detect them first. And I don't really think that they have much of a reason to. Distance to the helo is about 15 miles. Okay, surface search on. No detection. Very good. P3C. Whenever you're ready. Opening bomb bay doors. Range 3.8. We carry 8 torpedoes. I know that there will be multiple subs. At least the briefing spoke of 5, so I'm not really willing to spend all of my torpedoes at this guy. That's why I'm only dropping 2. I could drop 1. Maybe that will work. Most of the time, though, I found that 1 torpedo either A, doesn't find the target, or B, doesn't kill it in one go. And then you're going to be circling around doing another drop. We lost the bastard? Crap. Well, okay. That'll make things more interesting. Let's continue on our course and drop an active sonobuoy. Below the layer this time around. No. Below. Thank you. These Mark 46s might find the submarine. We're just dropping on their last known. And in a few minutes, they can't have moved that far. If at all. Oh, can you pretty please drop a sonobuoy? Oh, never mind, we have him. Torpedoes have acquired. He's going to be in for a rough time. That's one. What about our second? Our second's also going to hit him. Good. That ought to end his day. So he was right around here, I think. What are the odds that they have another submarine in the area? Right, exactly here. I think not great. The Sea Spy is going to come out the right side of the pie. I still want to have that active buoy over here. Because if that guy turns out to survive, I want to know about it. And I want to be able to engage him again. Just not sure if this is going to be too far away for that buoy to pick him up. Let's see if this P3 will line up. It ought to. There we go. Course 235240. At this point, I'm expecting that submarine to do either a full surface or sinking. There probably isn't a whole lot of in between. There you are. Yep, he's coming up for air. He's doing his emergency blow. So, he's probably toast. 260. Dead. Alright. That is one unit less to worry about. Do I continue with this pattern? What are the odds of having another submarine over here? I'm going to say I'm going to do my due diligence and just continue the pattern as I had it planned. Otherwise, if there is a second submarine and I don't detect it because of negligence, that would not really look good on me. So, let's continue the plan. Intermittent. We're going to drop sonar buoys there, and so forth. New subsurface contact, but not where I expected it. This is next to the cruiser group, at 60 miles. This is where, and I was wondering about this, this is where it says a submarine detected by satellites. However, it doesn't mean that there's exclusively submarines inside these areas. I'm not sure how we got this guy, but I think it's an active, or sorry, a passive sonar from the anti-tam. Okay, so he's a couple of convergence zones away. This is not necessarily why I was doing 6 knots, but it's a nice side catch, if you will. This Sea Sprite is already busy serving as an early warning. I'm going to vector another helicopter over to start taking over that task. Oh crap, I can't, because this thing is loaded out for AA duties. Oh, sorry, anti-ship duties.
New submerged submarine.
What?
Contact detected.
Track 7004. And you are here. Okay. So we're doing 2 missions at once. Come round. VID. I don't think that's going to work out.
Roger,
Hunt him down.
3, 2,
Give me an active buoy. He's doing 730 feet. So we're going to go below the layer. And we're going to drop that right on top of him. And then while we're doing that, figure out what he is based on our detection with the sonar buoys. This bastard's already gone concealed. I'm going to get another helo over from the bunker hill. I want you to send an ASW bird again. Because this one is just going to be serving as my aerial warning. Which means it cannot, with its ASW loadout, do anything against that helo. The only thing, against that sub. The only thing it can do is drop a sonar buoy. That's a way that it can contribute to this fight. Over here, the P3 is nicely dropping buoys. The other P3 is finally arriving. And should be able to lay some buoys as well. Over here, we know it's a hostile sub. Confidence is growing slowly. I highly doubt it's a Franklin. That's a nuclear boomer, or a nuclear boat. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did you say missile? You said missile. Okay. Okay. We have been made. Definitely. Formation. Orders. Air defense. Sensor orders. Air search on. Formation. Sensor orders. Surface search on. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Let it rip, boys. We got things to do. Send out the helos. Now. Get these birds off the deck. Because there soon might not be a deck if this persists. Good lord, look at that. Did you turn that thing into God mode? Who is that? Who's doing all that? The anti-tam? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Never know how to work that. Okay, so we got SSN-12s coming in. We got SSN-19s coming in. There's a whole storm of these things. SSN-3s? Hold on a second. SSN-3s, aren't they submersible launched missiles? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm just going to set a couple of lines here so that I sort of know where these things came from. And apparently it's 2 different formations. We're going to be doing lots and lots and lots of missile work here. I think Antitam and Bunker Hill are finally done launching. Situation here. It's an Alpha. Well, the Alpha is about to meet the Omega in the form of the Sea Sprites. Torpedoes. The Hill, I want you to launch your second helicopter. ASW loadout, go. More vampires. We have intercepted a bunch of these tracks. Shaddocks. Hold on a second. SSN-3s. Give me the missile... Oh, sorry. Give me the unit reference. Submarines. Guided missile subs. Echoes. SSN-3. Charlies. SSN-9. Do any surface ships carry that? That would have to be something like the Cresta. They don't carry that. Kara? No. Kirov? No. Cresta? No. Well, the Cresta does. And so does the Cresta. Cresta 2 doesn't. It's the Cresta. Okay. So we got potentially 2 Crestas and something throwing SSN 19s back at me. Which I entirely don't appreciate. I'm going to let my ships do what they do best, which is just intercept one missile after another. You're laying a sonobuoy. Excellent. Now I need you to hit this Alpha with both torpedoes. Salvo 2. Execute the Alpha. 1 away. Torpedo going for him. Situation here. Loads of outbound missiles. No clear threats. What are you even targeting? I think they were targeting the original spread of missiles coming in. Based on current information, we have not been hit. Excellent. All missiles were intercepted. Alright then, Sunshine. You have 2 Mark 46s coming in for you. You are considering RTBing. I'm going to say no. I want you to drop sonobuoys to make sure that we can keep lock on this Alpha. I think he's already been made by the Mark 46. He doesn't have a towed array, so he doesn't know about the torpedoes, ideally. And that is excellent. We're going to send that helicopter after him as well. Fam. You are on a course of 240. So reverse course on that. So that's going to be 120. No. Minus 180. 060. They're somewhere along that axis. So you're going to try and scout out for that. We have hit something. We've hit track 7004. That's the Alpha. Once or twice? Hold. Hit him once? Once? Yeah, I guess. There's the track that's been hit. And I'm not seeing a second one. But the helo did drop both of the torpedoes. Well, whatever he's doing, he's not going to be doing it for very long. Go back home. Swap in the other helicopter. Bloody hell. The good news is, at some point, these boys will run out of missiles. It's just going to be a question of when. I feel pretty confident about my missile loadout, because I carry a lot of them. The Daniels still has 48. And then we have... Here. You got 32 left. You got 39. Unless they triple or quadruple tap every single missile, I think we'll be fine. Status on the Alpha. Coming up for air, I think. Come again? Multiple hostile air? Oh, that's the missiles that are getting detected. It's all these. 7059 to 61. Yeah, that's this spread. The good news about the SSN-12s is that they fly so high, they're very easily detectable. So we can also engage them pretty early on. Excellent. Unfortunately, I don't exactly have a counter detection on them. I do know where to go now. And I'm going to prioritize detecting those enemy cruisers and or whatever other surface ships they have over going for that submarine, because the sub can't really have gone very far. Somehow I still know where it is. Sort of. On a course of 180. He's doing 9 knots presently. So let's say he could be anywhere within this circle if he maintains his speed for the next hour. State your time of arrival. I got a helicopter in there somewhere.
Roger. Turn. Roger.
Unknown.
Roger. Turn 065.
You're doing 138 knots. So from your location to there is going to be 46 knots, so about 15 minutes. So he really can't have gone very far. If he's doing 9 knots in an hour, in a quarter of an hour, he's doing a quarter of that. So let's say about 2.3 miles. He's going to be somewhere inside that circle. We'll deal with you in a second. Stats in the Alpha? Dead. Second submarine confirmed destroyed. Well done. Well done. No submarines detected here as of yet. So we're up to submarines. And they are down a whole bunch of missiles. So are we, to be sure. Because we're sending so many of these RIM 66 after these missiles. More? Oh yes. There is more. Alright then. Come on, boys. Get it done. Because that is a spread of some fairly smart missiles. You're launching again? Not presently. Intercept it. Intercept it. Intercept it. There are SS-12 out there. He's already getting met by one missile. Potentially more. Intercepted. Well done. Jeez, it won't stop. Alright. Alright. For now, I can just focus on the anti-air warfare, or rather the anti-missile warfare. I don't have to worry about submarines as much, because right now I have 2 of them eliminated. I know where a third is, roughly. And at the moment, they're not really posing that much of a threat. If they've sent their missiles, they're even less of a threat, because then the next thing they can do is send a torpedo. Yes, they can give me issues if they're going to be serving as a detection platform. You're down to 14 missiles now. Okay, now you are getting me a little worried. Bunker Hill. You're down to nothing. Okay, that is distinctly ungood. I'm gonna say offensive EC. Holy moly! What's the range of that? Like 80 miles or so? Yeah. You got some serious jamming power there, dude. And the missiles are in fact getting jammed. That's a good thing too, because I don't have any missiles to intercept them anymore. So the rest of the missiles are going to have to come out of the Daniels. And her missile launch capability isn't nearly as good. Because she still has those rails that she uses. Alright, to strike back, we got 8 harpoons on you. But those are 80-mile harpoons, so we'd better get into range. You have 12 anti-ship Tomahawks, and you have another 12. I don't think that's going to be sufficient. If they can send this many missiles, you can bet that they have the ability to defend against a lot of missiles too. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be dangerous. I can send the Hill over to help out. But the Hill's going to take a lot of time getting there. Even at full speed, that's 5 hours sail. And I kind of need her here. So, not ideal. We also got the Fletcher with her 24 anti-ship missiles, which will help. But for her, it's probably a similar distance. Yeah. Okay. Christ, are you guys still not done launching? How many more? 4 more. 80,000 feet. Okay. Right. let's go hunt that helo. Well, that submarine, rather. I'm going to say they're below the layer, but I'm going to throw an intermittent spread here. Here, 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 here. The other one is going to just wait for detection and hunt things down. So we got 4 missiles coming in. Bunker Hill is capable of launching another 13 more. And then we got 43 on the Daniels. The Antitam is not capable of launching anymore. I want you to go here. Floor it. Because you are currently not capable of defending yourself very well beyond using Sea Whiz. And yes, that jammer to some extent. That's the last of the Bunker Hill. She's down to 5. Damn. Can we get a resupply of missiles, please? Because I don't have enough to defend myself against another spread. I don't think there will be another spread, but I cannot guarantee that. A few minutes later, all missiles intercepted, and Antitam was able to once again detect this submarine, because once again she's running 20 knots. Just how we're going to deal with that submarine is something you'll have to see in the next part. If you're already a channel member, you can see the next part right away. If not, consider becoming a channel member. Hit the join button down below. It's only $1, and that way you can support my work with more than you do by just watching the ads. Thank you for watching, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for the next part.